Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the January 4th episode of the Lunchtime Hot Topics. We hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, great New Year's, and ready to start the winter spring semester off with a bang. We've got over the next several months, we have quite a bit we'll be sharing with you. On this version, we're going to give you an update on our visiting teacher program. That's a program that I think a lot of people aren't quite yet aware of, but in some of our hard to fill places, it's really plugged some gaps for some school districts that have been taking advantage of it. We also have a pretty neat development with our website. It's called Data Central, kind of a one-stop shop for you to go and search and find all kinds of data and information that we have on our website. And then finally, just give you another update on where we're at with our new accreditation model. We'll be rolling out here fairly soon our Q3 training, so just to give you an update on KSDE. Again, throughout this episode, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for future topics, send those to lunchtime@ksde.org. We'll get those added to our updates, and looking forward to working with you this coming winter or this second semester. A lot of stuff going on, excited where we're at in Kansas, and glad to be on this journey with you.
Hello, Kansas. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be talking about the Visiting International Teacher Program in our session today. Some of the goals that we're wanting to accomplish in this session are to inform you a little bit about this program that KSDE hosts, and also for school districts that are having a hard time filling vacancies in their school districts. This might be a program that will be helpful to you in maybe hosting an international teacher and being able to also meet some of the teacher shortages that you're experiencing.
My name is Suzy Meyers. I'm actually the Language Arts Education Program Consultant at KSDE. This is a new role, this Visiting International Teachers role. It used to belong to Phyllis Farrer, and she retired last year, and the program was in need of some consultants to take it over and make sure our international teacher program continued. And so I am one of those consultants who is managing this program, and I'm joined here by Lizette Burks.
Hi. I'm the Science Education Program Consultant, and again, with Suzy, I'm helping coordinate this program. Susan Helbert is the Assistant Director of Teacher Licensure, and she is also helping coordinate the program on that end of the licensing for our teachers. So all three of us work together to kind of help coordinate the Visiting International Teacher Program.
This program actually serves several purposes in the state of Kansas. The first is just providing our Kansas students the opportunity to learn another language from native speakers of that language. We also hope that it contributes positively to the overall picture of international education. Of course, we hope that it's able to provide high quality teachers that will meet the needs of all of our Kansas students. And then also we know that teacher shortages have been an issue across the state, and this is one way that schools and districts might help to fill their teacher shortages in an interesting and positive way. Within this program, we have a couple of Memoranda of Understanding. One is with the Ministry of Education in Spain, and that's where we get our visiting international teachers from Spain. And we also have a Memorandum of Understanding with the Ministry of Education in China. And we'll talk a little bit more about those two programs and the agreements that we have. Currently, our Visiting International Teachers program in Kansas only includes Spain and China. We have someone who is a regional officer whose office is in Lincoln, Nebraska, and he works with several states, including Kansas. This is Jesus Gerardo Mendoza. He actually works for the Spanish Ministry of Education, and he is available to us to assist with making sure that everything goes smoothly with the teachers that are brought over from Spain, help with visa issues, help with explaining the U.S. education system to them. So he's a wonderful resource for us. We also work with Sherry Willis, and she is the director of the Confucius Institute at KU, where our visiting international teachers from China are housed and where they work. Our program actually has sponsored over 90 teachers since 2001, and they have been placed in a variety of locations across the state. So you can see that we have teachers who have worked in very small settings, small school districts, small schools, and then also very large schools and school districts. We have teachers who have worked in urban settings, and then extremely rural settings as well. So this is not a program that's limited to one certain kind of context. The visiting international teachers are eligible to work wherever it is we can appropriately place them. We also are fortunate enough to be able to offer teachers in a variety of areas. These are not only teachers who teach Spanish language classes. They certainly can do that, be brought over and teach Spanish language classes to students or Chinese to students. We have several teachers placed in dual language schools where students receive, for example, half the day of instruction in English and half the day of instruction in Spanish. So they are able to work in those situations. We have elementary educators who teach the entire day in English. And then we also have teachers from Spain who teach French, teachers from Spain who teach math. We actually have a teacher from China who teaches math as well. Science, social studies, art, music, whatever it is that they are certified to teach and that we can verify that they would be also certified to teach that subject in Kansas, we might be able to place them in a school teaching that content area. So it's not limited to just Spanish language teaching. All right, within this program, there is a set of responsibilities that KSDE handles, and then there is a set of responsibilities that KSDE asks local school districts to manage. So currently we are in the process of getting ready to put out information asking local school districts if they would be interested in hosting a teacher through our Visiting International Teachers program. From that list, we will contact Jesus in Lincoln, and he will look through the candidates in Spain who have expressed interest in coming to the United States. And we at KSDE will then conduct interviews and recommend candidates for particular districts that have expressed interest in getting in employing a visiting international teacher. KSDE also sponsors the J1 visas. Ordinarily, if a school was going to employ an international teacher, the employer has to sponsor the visa for that teacher. And KSDE takes that burden off of the local school district by sponsoring all of the J1 visas. KSDE also grants a one-year teaching license for up to 3 years, and both the local school district and the teacher have to agree to continue that that commitment for that teacher to continue to work in that school district for up to 3 years. So it's a year-to-year teaching license, but it can be used for up to 3 years. KSDE also handles the orientation of the teachers once they arrive in the U.S. We also have a fall retreat where we bring the teachers together over a weekend and then provide any needed professional development as indicated by the teachers themselves or perhaps their local school district. So obviously, just as we would expect for teachers in our Kansas schools to apply a variety of strategies in order for students to be successful, we expect the same of our visiting international teachers. They are expected to apply a variety of strategies. They are also skilled teachers. These aren't individuals who are inexperienced or lack knowledge about how to teach students. They are knowledgeable, qualified, skilled professionals.
As Suzy mentioned, we have 1 week of orientation. It lasts a little bit longer than 1 week, but what we do during orientation is as soon as the visiting teachers come in to the United States and to Kansas, we pick them up from the airport and they come straight to us, and we spend time in this week to kind of go over classroom structures, differences that they would see from their culture to our culture here in the United States. We go over topics like classroom management, grading structures, cultural differences with our students. We also help them with driver's license and furniture pickups and that sort of thing as well, to kind of make them feel more at home and to help them with their home life as well. Community mentors meet us during the last part of that week, and they come and pick up the visiting teachers from KSDE and then go and take them to their locations out in Kansas. And so that very last day of our orientation, we meet with the mentors and help guide mentors as well on what to expect, what we've gone over during the week, so that way there's a good exchange of getting the teachers here to Kansas and then also making sure that they are set up for success and moving out to their school district. So we also have a retreat late in September for our visiting international teachers to come back to us here at KSDE from their local school districts. And what we end up doing during this retreat time is go over topics of interest to the teachers. So we kind of talk about grading and some things that might be different with those grading structures in the schools. We also talk about classroom management and some differences that they've been noticing. We really help them with things that will help them be successful for the rest of the year. So it's a time of reflection, and it's a way for us to get back and connect with each other. If you can imagine, they've been speaking English a lot more than they probably had in their respective countries. And so this is just a way to kind of help them connect and to check in on them and make sure that they're doing well, and to also provide them with resources to help them be successful for the rest of the school year. Suzy explained a little bit more about what KSDE is responsible for in bringing over a visiting international teacher. On this slide, it describes a little bit more of a summary of what the district will do for those visiting international teachers. And so there is a letter of intent. If you are looking for a visiting international teacher, you have a spot in your school district and you're wanting to host one of those teachers, there is a letter of intent that you'll fill out that kind of gives us a better description of what you're looking for, and it helps us really hone in on your needs for your school district. Part of those responsibilities are also to provide a teacher mentor within the school, someone that the visiting international teacher can link up with and be able to receive some resources and just help on some of the different structures, just as you would have for a new teacher in your school. And another responsibility is to have a community mentor. We ask that this community mentor be separate from your building So that way the visiting international teacher has two separate mentors, one that's within your building and that's more of a school-related mentor, and then one that is more of a community mentor. And we ask for these to be separate so that way there is no conflict of interest, and that visiting international teacher is really getting support from both of those different environments that they'll be involved in. There is a one-time payment of $2,000, and so I did describe that we pick up the visiting international teachers from the airport. We also bring them in and feed them and help them out that first week that they're here. And so some of that $2,000 is to help pay for those fees that come with hosting them for that week, and it's also to cover the federal requirements for Homeland Security for having them here with their J-1 visa. We also ask that school districts help with pre-service training. So anything that you would essentially do for a new teacher within your school district, we're asking that that be also for these visiting international teachers. And so having the teacher mentor is something we usually see school districts provide new teachers, and also that pre-service training. And so in our experience, it has been that these visiting international teachers, when they enter the school district, they kind of go through the same pathway that a new teacher would. They just have those extra supports like the community mentor to help them kind of fit into the environment that they're coming into. One of the responsibilities of the visiting international teachers is to share their culture with the community that they're a part of. And so here's a photo of one of our teachers from China. And so she was sharing at a local fair about a little bit about her culture in China. And so we've had some different stories that have been shared with us on how teachers are able to do this. It may be within the school, it may be part of a community event, but that is part of their requirements for being here. And it definitely adds authentic cultural elements to their instruction as well that they're able to share with students. As Suzy mentioned, the teachers that come in from China or Spain, they are qualified teachers. We ask that they are proficient in English. They either hold a bachelor's or master's degree. They're experienced teachers. We have an outside company that verifies their transcripts, making sure that they meet all of our Kansas licensure requirements. And so we noted that Susan Halbert on that very front slide, that she is also part of our coordinators group with this program, and she helps to verify those transcripts as well. And we also ask that they sign up for a visitor license, and it's for 1 year and it's renewable for up to 3 years. You can find more on our KSDE website if you just go to ksde.org. If you look at that very top index, if you click on the letter V for visiting, you'll find the Visiting International Teacher Program there. What you'll see on this site is up at the very top, you'll notice that all of the program overview for teachers is up at the top. You can see their handbook that they are given and that we go over during the first week of orientation. The timeline over on the left-hand side is a really good document to look through, so you can kind of see what it is that they go through during their year while they're here. Also, the Memorandum of Understanding from China and Spain are there as well. You'll notice towards the bottom of that site a section called For School Districts. That's where you will find the letter of intent for school districts to fill out for us to know what to look for when we pre-screen teachers, so that way we're able to fit your needs. You'll also find there more information for school districts on what the requirements are for you to host a visiting international teacher. Please contact us for more information about the Visiting International Teacher Program. Again, my name is Lizette Burks, and I'm here with Suzy Meyers. And if you have any questions about licensing, Susan Halbert would be your contact. Thank you for your time today.
I would like to welcome you to Data Central training. The ideal behind the Data Central website is to provide you a user-friendly environment where you can publicly view reported data in one location. I do want to let you know that this site is both mobile and tablet friendly. So let me show you how to get to this website, starting out from the Department of Education's main homepage. All that you need to do is click on Data Central, and this will take you to the main page. Go ahead and bring that up. I would like to walk you through each one of the subgroups that you see here, starting with the Kansas State Building Report Card. By clicking on this link, you will go in and be able to see the Kansas Building Report Card. As you can see here, by simply starting to type Southeast, I can now see a list of all schools in the state of Kansas that have this option. I do want to point out here that you are also able to click on View State Results, which will give you the report card for the whole state. We are going to look at Southeast Saline High School, Building 3052. Next, you will click on Search, and here we have the Kansas report card for this school. Some things I'd like to point out that would be of interest to you is that you have the USD number. You are able to see on this one page what grade levels they have, their title status, then also the main contact email and phone number. Another feature that we have added is similar schools. So if I click on this button here, this is going to bring up schools within the state of Kansas that have a similar population and also diversity within their school that matches the location which you are at. On each report card page, we have added the board goals and outcomes. By clicking on the graduation, here you will see a video from Commissioner Watson and then also a graduation fact sheet. And like I pointed out, each one of these pages will have the same video and the same fact sheet available for you. This is the data and measures section. You can click on any one of these. We'll start with graduation. And this is your graduation indicators for this building. So just so you know that this is not for that whole district, right now we are just in Southeast Saline High School. So you are able to see their graduation rates. You can change this by subgroup. And here we have, again, more charts to show you that you are able to download and then also print. If you need a definition of what you are seeing, you can continue to scroll down, and we have made the cohort information available for you here on this page. Thank you for looking at this. I do want to point out from here, you also can go in and look at different report types, all related to the report card. So not only do you have those options below, you also have this header banner up here where you can look at other reports. Let's go back to the Data Central homepage, which if you can see, we have placed this button in the right-hand upper corner. The next section that we will look at is the Kansas Educational Directory Reports. This is a great tool for you and one that I would recommend that you come out and look at for your building and also for your district. Reason being is this is the information that you put into the education directory. If something is missing, or you see that you have not filled in, for example, your E-rate coordinator, then you do need to go out and fill that in. Or if job roles have changed, staff members have changed, this is a great way to see that and get that information updated. So you see all the different reports that you are able to run. You can do that by all districts, or I can go here and single out one district. And for this purpose, it will come up in Excel. What you can do once you bring these up, if you are looking for something specific, click on Enable Editing. And the next tab is Virtual Programs. On Virtual Programs, this will have all virtual accredited programs across the state where you will be able to find any information and contacts for these schools. So let's move on to the next section. So again, Up in the upper right-hand corner, let's click on the Data Central Home and move on to the Kansas K-12 reports. I want to point out that these reports can be ran by state, county, district, and at the school level, all from this one page. At this time, there's about 20 different reports that you are able to view. You can do these in Excel, PDF, Word, or HTML. So whichever format you choose, you would need to select that at the beginning before you run that report. For this presentation, we will look at attendance rate by race and gender. We'll look at the state totals for public schools, and we are going to look at the 15-16 year. It does take just a moment for some reports to come up based on the size, but click on Open. And this is a PDF report that would be made available to you. So as you can see, you can save this to your desktop and you can also print this out. And you would also be able to bring this up on your mobile or tablet. Just know that the size of these, it is going to take a little bit of time for them to come up, and you will have to scroll through it to be able to read it if you bring it up on one of those smaller devices. This is also where you can come and look for students approved for free or reduced lunch. So if that's something that you are interested in or wanting to see, just click on that, and then you can, like I said, choose your data grouping, what type of schools you want to look at, and also the school year. So again, we're going to go back to the Data Central Home, and we're going to look at the Geographical Information Reports. These reports were formerly available to you on the Kansas K-12 School Reports website. We have made the maps larger, so they do take a little bit longer to generate. We have changed the colors, which make them a lot easier for you to view boundaries. And currently at this time, we are in the process of putting in the 16-17 boundaries from the U.S. Census Bureau. So that should be done within the next week, which would be the beginning of January. So let's look at the 15-16 school year and the USD boundaries and click on Display Report. This would be a map of the state of Kansas with the 15-16 boundaries. So as you can see, we have tried to make this colors that are easy to view the different boundaries. And let's go ahead and click on one of these. We will choose District 112 right here in the center of the state. Okay, the red lines that you are seeing, that is the actual boundaries for USD 112 Central Plains. Here at the bottom, we have a legend. So the red pinpoint, this is where the central office is located. The yellow dots are all of the schools. So if I hover over this, it's going to tell me the name of the school. And a feature that we've added is by simply clicking on that dot in a new tab, it's going to take you back to that Kansas report card. So that is a link that we have put in there for you, and you're going back to that main page. For the geographical reports, you would have to change it if you want to look at a different type of report. So if I do enrollment and click Display Report, this will have some head count information. So again, let's use District 112. This tells me that there is 525 students. So as you move through, you can see the enrollment that we have for that district. And again, by color, here is the legend that you would need to look at. Back to the Data Central homepage. The next report section that we will look at is school finance reports. At this time, they do not have a dashboard like we saw with the other report types, but there is one currently being developed. The school finance team has been extremely helpful and put a lot of work into the reports that you can see. And currently, we'll go ahead and look at the budget documents. We do have the 16-17 data available to you. So you can pick your district and bring up budget at a glance, your profile, or whatever it is that you are wanting to look for based off your district. And we do have back to the 2010-2011 school year. We will go back one page. Here you have your CPA reports and then also your school finance report warehouse. So these are the reports that you used to see on the school finance page. These are all now housed here, and you can come out and bring up any one of them and select which format you would like to export that in. That is school finance. Child nutrition and wellness has housed their reports here so that you are again coming to this one central location. You need to select a report. We will look at child and adult care food program contacts. The information currently available is the 15-16 school year. And click display report, which in this one we have done in Excel. And here is the report of the contacts based off the information for the 15-16 school year. You have phone numbers, email, and what district they're associated with. So this is where you can get information with child nutrition and wellness. Back on the home page, I would like to point out that we have special education. This is currently being worked on and will be available to you soon. We have added other resources that might be useful to you while viewing these reports. I would ask that you come out here frequently as we are still developing the Data Central website, and you will see updates coming out over the next couple of weeks. And as we develop it more, we will have other accessibility tools put out here for you. So thank you for joining us today and taking a look at the new Kansas Department of Education Data Central website.
Hello, this is Kelly Slaton with Teacher Licensure and Accreditation at KSDE. Today's hot topic from Teacher Licensure and Accreditation is about KISA outside validation teams. Just a quick reminder that the outside validation team is meant to be composed of a variety of people from a variety of districts or systems and from a variety of the facets of education. So OVTs should have teachers, leaders, other professional staff such as curriculum people, instructional coaches, counselors, and so on, as well as possibly people from higher education. Depending on the size of the district, the OVT would be bigger or smaller, but the idea is that you have more than one system represented, more than one type of educator represented. For today's hot topic, we're going to talk about what systems need to do in order for the outside validation team portion of KISA to work, and then also what individuals need to do in order to get that whole facet of the new model up and running. First of all, systems need to do their best to recruit individuals to serve on OVTs. The more people that you recruit, the more people that will be available to the various systems across the state. As people register and become trained, their names will be in a statewide pool that systems will be able to access when they begin to assemble their outside validation team. We are looking at approximately October of 2017 as a recommended time by which systems should have their OVTs in place. In order to work on getting your OVTs in place, you would want to contact a Kansas Education Service Center for support in this process, and then you would be selecting from that statewide pool that you contribute to by recruiting people to be involved. Those that you recruit from your district or system would serve on other district or systems OVTs, and then people from other districts would serve on your OVT. Hopefully through that system there will be a good balance and trade-off for all of the systems. In order for the OVT portion of the model to be built, we definitely need individuals to register. And when we say individuals, of course, we mean education professionals within those various categories that we showed earlier. You want to register and participate as an OVT member. Then you would, of course, need to attend all of the required training. And once you are trained and you are listed in the statewide pool, you would possibly want to communicate with the service centers in the regions where you wish to serve. And that way they are aware of your interest and your level of interest, and can recommend you as necessary given your areas of expertise. And then you also could communicate with systems that you are interested in serving so that they are aware of your level of interest. The whole idea behind the outside validation team registration and training is that, as part of the training, each person will indicate not only their geographical area of interest, but also their academic and professional areas of interest and expertise. Those areas within which you feel comfortable coaching and mentoring and giving support to the district that you're serving. So as you can see, there are things that the systems need to do, as well as things that the individuals who wish to be OVT members need to do. As we move into this spring semester, we need to continue having people register, and then we will be sending out information about trainings that will take place this spring. A little bit later this spring, we will actually start holding the trainings. All OVT members will be trained, and the service centers will be the ones delivering that training. And then people who are identified as chairs will have additional training, and that training will be done at a central, or it will be delivered by a central unified organization who will make sure that all of the chairs get the same training and have that one central location as a support organization as well. Please be sure to give Dr. Meyers or Bill Bagshaw or me a call if you have any questions related to the outside validation team aspect of the KISA model. Thank you for your time today.
Hello, this is Ann Yates with the Kansas State Department of Education, the Teacher Licensure and Accreditation Department. Today I will be talking to you about the Keep2 web-based evaluation system and our new procedures for two-cycle evaluations. There are now two options for how to proceed with the evaluatees, that would be teachers and or building leaders, that require 2 evaluation cycles in a school year, meaning you need to evaluate them first semester and second semester. We added the first option, as many had stated that starting the entire evaluation process over just 2 months after the first evaluation was very overwhelming for new teachers or anyone in their first couple of years teaching or in their first few years at a district. So there's usually little change between the self-assessment and goals in that first and second semester. So we added a new option. I want to show you what it looks like on the Keep2 website. We're talking about the final summative rating page. This is normally done by the evaluator. Once you've completed your final comments and you have submitted, you will see this message here and then these button options on the final summative rating page. The message tells you not to click the complete and archive button for anyone in their first and second year of their educator evaluations, and that you should wait till the spring semester. In the meantime, it asks you to print an evaluation report summary, which will give you either a digital or hard copy of the first cycle evaluation. Now I'll go into a further explanation. So this new option in that first cycle, you follow through with 99% of the fall evaluation, meaning you complete self-assessment, goals, IPP, student performance, get all the way to the final summative rating page, but you do not click the complete and archive button. This will leave the digital evaluation open so that next semester or the second cycle, all you have to do is update or add to the evaluation. Since everything is date and time stamped, it will show as a completed first cycle evaluation, which meets statutory requirements. You can download and print that evaluation report summary for that documentation. Here's where it becomes a little bit different. In the second cycle, the digital evaluation is still open, so it does not clear out the bubbles, and you do not start over with the self-assessment and goals. What you will do is you go in and unsubmit each area, which allows you to update or add to them. You and the evaluatee can do these steps. You can also add formal and informal observations and any other parts of the evaluation as well. This will all be time and date stamps showing that you are in the second cycle and following the proper evaluation timeline. Once again, you can print or download an evaluation report summary, which will show you that second evaluation cycle. Then you also have the evaluation report detailed, which will show you both the first and second cycle evaluations with all of the time and date stamps should you need the full documentation. So, like this said here, you do not click complete and archive. You choose the evaluation report summary for that documentation for the first cycle. Then when you go back in for the second cycle, you will just unsubmit and edit or update any options. Then you will complete and archive after the second cycle evaluation. Now, the option that you're all used to is the old option. It is still a valid option and can be used. What you did was you followed through the entire fall evaluation when you were in the first cycle. You did click the complete and archive button, and then you can download or print the evaluation report summary documentation. Then the second cycle, since it was completed and archived in the first cycle, then all the bubbles would be cleared and there would be a new self-assessment and new goals. So everything would be needed to be entered as a completely new evaluation instead of like the new option where you would edit. So you can still use this option if it makes you more comfortable to complete an archive after each cycle. It will just be a little bit more work starting over with the self-assessment and goals for your new teachers to your district or just new to the profession. So once again, we're talking about the final summative rating page. We went over the two options. The first option being that you do not click the complete and archive button, and you just do evaluation report summary for the first cycle, and then you wait until the second cycle to click that complete and archive, combining both cycle evaluations into one document, but they're still date and time stamped in the proper timeline. The second option is the old option, which is you would complete an archive after each cycle evaluation. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to contact me. Once again, my name is Ann Yates. I'm the Education Program Consultant for Teacher Licensure and Accreditation, the Kansas State Department of Education. You can reach me at email yates@ksde.org or call me at 785-296-5140. Thank you.